Okay, our final question for this week is from Brett, and his question is on fasting for skinny dudes. Hi, Robb and Nicki. Fasting for overweight or normal people has been well covered. Is there any benefit to underweight guys fasting in an effort to add mass? I'm 6'3", 165 pounds, 37 years old. I can eat whatever I want in whatever quantities I want, and my weight never changes. I would like to be heavier. I've tried weight programs and I tone up okay, but it's rare to add more than 5 pounds. The minute I stop the program, I'm instantly back to 165. Everything else you always talk about, like diet, sleep, and stress, is already dialed in.
Man, there are some folks that advocate fasting as kind of a means to lean body mass gain. The literature on it doesn't really paint it in a super favorable light. This was kind of my problem. Like I enjoyed powerlifting, but my body just desperately likes being about 165 to 170 pounds, even getting up to about 175, which if I get up to 175 from lifting and not just being fat, then I look pretty good. And if I start getting like 180, 185, I look big. You know, I have kind of small bone structure, I guess.
It's
so
like the big arms when you walked into
it's
the
like the
coffee
big
shop
arms when I swept you off your feet on our first meeting. Exactly. Shout out to Carla Mack around that. But the bastard of this thing is I would eat and eat. I mean, like 6 meals a day, big meals, felt disgusting, you know, and I would get busy, go on a trip, whatever it was, and I would lose 10 pounds just almost instantly. And so it's I think there is some degree of a set point for people, and there's just kind of a reality that, you know, for some people, muscle mass gain is easier. Again, this is one of these things. Brett does he mention at 37 years old? I would get like androgen levels checked and make sure that testosterone, estrogen, sex hormone binding globulin. We've covered this in a previous podcast, and this is something that we're going to dig into later in some more depth, like really understanding what your hormonal profile means and what to do about it if it's not kind of an optimized level. If that's not optimized, then the anabolic stimulus from the food and the training is going to be paltry. So you're just kind of peeing in the wind with that. So that would be the couple of things that I would think about. I would look at androgens and see what testosterone and that whole gamut of things looks like. I would, and then if that looks pretty good, or depending on what you want to do, even then though, there's just like gaining muscular weight is tough for a lot of people.
So it seems like fasting is not a good
fasting
option.
Is definitely not a good option. Yeah, I mean, at least just do 3 meals a day. If you want to do a little time restricted feeding, that's great. There does seem to be some literature that suggests eating more calories earlier in the day. Bill Lagakos has talked about this ad nauseum. That seems good, and it seems like kind of a no downside deal, because you could just eat huge breakfast, big lunch, small dinner, try to stick them a little tighter together. And there seems to be some legit body composition improvements, metabolic improvements, and it should kind of stack the deck favorably for muscle mass gain. And you're getting a little bit of that sirtuin type signaling that's associated with fasting and ketosis and all that stuff. But yeah, like as a baseline, getting back to the actual question asked, fasting is probably not a great idea in this case. I know there's examples of people who do it, but it just sounds like Brett has a tough time gaining muscle mass. And so I think like depriving his body of anabolic signal from protein for extended periods is probably not a great idea for improving muscle mass and kind of body composition.
Okay, that's our last question for this week.
Sweet. Okay.
Let's see if you guys are, as always, submit questions at robbwolf.com on the contact page. And let's see, we drip these questions out each week on Instagram, so make sure you're following at @DasRobbWolf. What else?
We still have some stuff over at YouTube. They haven't taken that down yet either. So yeah.
I think that's it.
Okay.
We'll catch you guys next week.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.